It's not because you're not capable. It's not because you're not motivated. It's because you're unclear. See, when you're unclear, you hesitate. And when you hesitate, you doubt. And when you doubt, you slow down or you sometimes stop completely. And the truth is, if you don't define your vision, the world is going to define it for you. And I think you've probably realized that throughout your life. Vision gives you movement. Movement gives you feedback. Feedback gives you clarity. And then that clarity will give you your confidence. The brain filters reality based on what you focus on. And the more you focus on your vision, the more your brain looks for opportunities and relationships and decisions that support it. The clearer your vision becomes, the less you fear failure. When you have clarity of your vision, the small obstacles won't stand in your way because clarity creates emotional stability. And emotional stability creates leadership. All right, welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. I want to talk to you today a little bit about driving into one of the most important topics that you'll ever master on your path to success. It's things that I've learned from some pretty amazing individuals over my life, and it's clarity of your vision. See, clarity is the starting point of all high achievement. It's that force that guides your decisions and fuels your motivation, but also keeps you aligned with everything else around you when things are getting chaotic. Because without clarity, you drift. And with clarity, you accelerate and you go quicker towards your goal. So, as we begin talking about this, I want to start with just one thing that will dictate every single result in your life and business going forward: your vision. And, when you think about your confidence, your focus, your momentum, your resilience, they all originate with the clarity of your vision. So, today we're going to talk about what vision really is and how great leaders use this to create purpose and direction, and how you can clarify your own vision in a way that gives you kind of confidence and power and alignment. So let's kind of jump right into it. So what most people wake up every day to do is just reacting to life. I don't know if you can relate to this, but you're putting out fires, you're responding to pressure, you're doing what's next instead of what's most important. And they wonder why they receive, they kind of get this overwhelming feeling of unfocus and being stuck. It's not because you're not capable. It's not because you're not motivated. It's because you're unclear. See, when you're unclear, you hesitate, and when you hesitate, you doubt, and when you doubt, you slow down, or you sometimes stop completely. But when your vision is clear, when you know who you want to become and what you want to create and why it matters, you move differently. You speak differently. You lead differently. You act with purpose instead of pressure. And, great leaders don't rely on willpower, they rely on vision. And vision is the picture of sort of your ideal future, your preferred future, and it's the direction your life is headed. It's the internal blueprint of your identity, of what you're becoming, unleashing this greatness that you have. And all great businesses, great, careers and transformation begin with a little bit of clarity, because without your vision, you're going to spend your life building someone else's dream. You've probably heard that many times before. Vision doesn't just pull you forward, it protects you. It protects your time, your energy, your focus. It protects you from distractions. And when you clarify your vision, decisions become easier. They're easier to make. You know what to say no to or what to walk away from. You remove the noise. And when you're unclear, you get distracted. So if you want to eliminate the unnecessary, you start by having a clear vision. And the truth is, if you don't define your vision, the world is going to define it for you. And I think you've probably realized that throughout your life. But there's a difference between a goal and a vision. A lot of people confuse these things because it's one of the biggest reasons they're unclear. A goal is a target, it's a milestone, it's a finish line, but a vision is a higher calling behind the goal. And it's the long term identity that you're trying to create as well. That's what's super important. A goal might be starting a business or earning income, launching a brand or scaling your revenue, but your vision is bigger. Your vision answers deeper questions like, who am I becoming? What kind of life am I building? How do I want to show up in the world? And what impact do I want to have? What kind of values do I want to represent? So, where goals will motivate you for a moment, the vision fuels you for a lifetime, and it will go despite what you're focused on. So, when you have a strong vision, your goals start to come from a place of alignment rather than pressure. You stop chasing random outcomes and start creating outcomes that support your future self. This is why the most successful entrepreneurs, the ones who seem grounded, consistent, and confident, they're not just disciplined, they're directed. Their direction comes from a clear vision. And here's the most important part people miss: your vision doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be figured out. It just has to be intentional. You can revise it as you grow, you can adapt it as you evolve, but you've got to create something. So, you've heard that term, you can't steer a parked car. Vision gives you movement. Movement gives you feedback. Feedback gives you clarity. And then that clarity will give you your confidence. And the confidence is what's going to create your momentum. So, how do you clarify your vision? Well, um, how, I guess the way I'd put it is this. You've got to do it in a way that's simple, powerful, and actionable. And, there are three statements I've used for years, kind of in my own life and with clients all over the world. And these statements can help you to, you know, clarify your identity, your direction, and your values. The statements are these: I am, I do, and I stand for. So let's break those down. I am defines the identity that you're stepping into. Not who you were, not who your past says you are, not even who you think you are now, but who your future self represents. So when you say, I am a disciplined leader, or I'm a creator of value, or I am someone who operates with purpose, you're reinforcing your identity. So the I am statement is for identity. The I do defines your contribution, what you create, who you serve, how you bring value to the world. This gives you direction. It tells what you're building and why it matters. So you say like, I stand for, or I'm sorry, I do this and I do these things, and these are the actions and things that help you to drive your life. And then that last statement is I stand for, and this defines your values. So the I am defines your identity, the I do defines your contribution, and then I stand for defines your values. And these are principles that you refuse to compromise. I stand for integrity, honesty, clarity of values. And so when you combine these statements, you get a powerful vision. I'm sorry, not vision, uh, not mission, vision statement. It's a compass that keeps you aligned no matter what happens around you. Now, once you write it, you're not done. You have to actually revisit it. You got to reinforce these things. So clarity is not a one time event. Once you get your vision, clarity happens on an ongoing basis, and clarity happens with your daily practices. So the most successful leaders I know read their vision statements every morning. They speak it out loud, they visualize it, they believe it, and they feel it. And there's a reason behind that. The brain filters reality based on what you focus on. And the more you focus on your vision, the more your brain looks for opportunities and relationships and decisions that support it. It's just like anything else. When you focus on the problems, your brain is going to find ways to really protect yourself from it. It causes you to withdraw. And when your vision becomes emotionally compelling, it's something you focus on, it becomes inevitable. So that is such an important thing. So the last thing I want to kind of talk to you about here is, let's talk about the practicality of, if you want clarity to turn into confidence and you want confidence to turn into momentum, you need daily habits. You need morning alignment habits. So just spend 5 minutes every day reviewing your vision. Read your statement, read your vision statement, and ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today that aligns with that vision? Not 10 things, not a complete plan, not everything you're hearing around. Alignment will always beat effort every time. The one habit, this one morning habit, the idea that you would every morning read your vision statement and find one thing that'll go towards it, it's going to move you out of reaction mode and into creation mode. It makes your day intentional. And so the clearer your vision becomes, the less you fear failure. When you have clarity of your vision, the small obstacles won't stand in your way, because clarity creates emotional stability. And emotional stability creates leadership, and then obviously leadership gets your results. So let me just give you a couple of takeaways from this idea that I've been kind of playing with for a while, this clarity of your vision. And just a few kind of takeaways that you can take throughout your day. First, clarity is the foundation for your confidence. If you're unsure, you're overwhelmed, you're doubting yourself, you don't need more motivation. You don't need a new idea. You need clarity. Go back to your vision. The second thing is, vision is not a goal. Vision is an identity-based direction for your life. It's that internal picture of the person that you're becoming, which is why I do the Daily Mastermind, to help you create the life that you're meant to live, the person you want to be. Goals come from vision, not the other way around. And then the last thought is clarity must be practiced daily. Review your vision every day. Speak it, say it, align your daily activities with it. This is super important for you to do because your vision, when it's clear, you will absolutely be unstoppable. I really believe that. So if this is that's my message for today. If this is something that you feel can help you, I encourage you to practice this every day. Take that 5 minutes and write down I am, I do, I stand for statements that you can review. And if you want to go any deeper, you can hit us up. You can, you know, learn more about vision, purpose, clarity, and leadership by hitting us up on the Daily Mastermind at dailymastermind.com. But I want to hear from you. So hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever we are, and let me know what you're working on, what it is that you're struggling with, what it is I can help you with. But remember, clarity of vision will bring your confidence. And so I encourage you to put that in your daily rituals. And that's my message for today. I hope you have an amazing day, and I look forward to talking to you.